I accidentally ended the stream instead of unmuting my microphone. I'll let everybody else get back in here again. Oopsie daisy. I'll wait for everybody to get here. But if you're joining us, watching this video back, this is just after the Timberwolves lost to the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, sorry, JJ. I instead of unmuting my microphone, I pressed end stream, which I guess I probably should just do from now on. I think that's how it should be. But just me tonight. Ashman's power just went out literally as the game ended. So yeah, it's just me. Sorry. But turn my light up a little bit. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Pretty crazy. So very sad night. Oops. Let's see. I can't believe I ended the stream. I feel so stupid. Wiggins will become Jordan if he gets traded to all 30 teams. Oh my god, that's true, Jake Erickson. That is probably the truest. That's the truest statement of the night. My goodness. What a game by Wiggins. Now, to be fair, I think all of us probably expected that from Wiggins. But Wiggins embarrassed Towns 3 times. Yes, he did. Sorry if you just heard me multiple times. Yeah, Towns was really bad tonight, and Wiggins was really good. Make that Wiggins poster my Twitter banner. Seriously. Yeah, me and Ashwin had a kind of a funny one a while back. I can't remember even what it was. God. Just crazy. I'm just so mad right now. I hate it. Okay, what's your new take, JJ? Which one? Yeah, I mean, there were multiple. That second one really hurt my soul, if I'm being completely honest. Again, I expect this from Wiggins. Wiggins shows up against the teams that he has been wronged by, but I don't know. Just annoying. Trade Cat for Jaylen Brown. Wombat. Wombat, you're a familiar name. I feel like I've seen you on Twitch or maybe here too. But welcome to the stream. Honestly, Wombat, who says no in that situation? The Celtics? I don't think the Celtics... I mean, the Celtics probably want Towns. Maybe they would do something like that, but we don't need a Jaylen Brown. We ain't. Let's see. By the end of the year, Towns will be the worst player currently out of the big 3, Towns, Wiggins, and Levine. Man, God, that hurts. That's crazy, too. That's crazy, you know? But just a terrible game. I mean, we brought it back, and honestly, even when we were all doom and gloom at halftime, and I was like tweeting about trading Towns and all that stuff, we still were kind of in the game. Like, we weren't really that far out of the game. We were only, I mean, we were down by 20 at a point, but like coming out of the half, we were only down like 13, I think. So it was still plenty of room. Yes, Brantley Plumlee. There we go. See, this is a little bit closer to probably what his actual value is right now. But yeah, no, Cat, well, it's tricky. Cat's such a tricky topic to talk about because he obviously is a star player. And somebody asked me on Twitter, I should actually pull that up. They asked me a very good question and a very valid question because I was saying trade Karl Anthony Towns because I am pretty firmly in that belief right now. I think this team can't succeed with the 3 that we have. No Plumlee. But I like, you know, they said, so this is Towns Uprising on Twitter. This is giving me many shades of Goat Culver or whatever his name was. But I said, trade Cat, it's time to rebuild around Anthony Edwards. I believe that 100% right now. 100%. And they responded, how do you do that? Who is a better fit next to him other than Towns? To be honest with you, Towns is a pretty good fit next to him. But Towns has mental errors and ways that he plays the game are not how he should be playing. Towns is doing, we are in the 3rd quarter, I believe, and Towns is doing no-look full court passes when all of the Warriors are back on defense. What is this? Not where is this coming from, because we've seen this a million times. What is he thinking? You know? And then even still, there's just like little things where like he gets a rebound and he kind of like pats it over. It's like, play basketball normal. Stop trying to show off, trying to show up on ESPN highlights or whatever you're trying to do. It drives me insane because I know Towns can be an incredible player. I know Towns can be a top 10 player in the league. I know it. But when he does stuff like that, it's like, what's your purpose right now? Are you trying to, like, have you just given up? Because tonight it looked like it. I mean, defensively, D'Lo did not come to play. Does he ever? That's pretty clearly not. But tonight was pretty bad. Ant played all game today, defensively, offensively. Ant was there. Mental errors galore tonight. Yes, true. Let it out. Thank you, Cristiano Ronaldo. Towns' inside game is non-existent this season, and I do credit that to him losing weight, and I think he's struggling with the losing of weight and being slimmer because now he's playing center. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's losing battles against Terrence Mann. He's losing battles against any other small guard that you can name, S tier for Ant. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is gotta be an A1 game. We're gonna get to that later. We'll get to the tier list in a little bit, but it's crazy. Wombat says, I'd love to see us build around Ant at guard. Yeah, I'd love to see us build around Ant as like a Doncic type of player. I get that he may not be Doncic, but like just something more along that lane. And me and Ashwin have talked about this a million times. We want Ant driving and kicking, or driving and finishing. And I believe in Ant's three, and obviously tonight it was somewhat there. I feel like he was pretty good from three. Oh yeah, he was really there from three. It was 7 of 13. But I believe in his 3-point shooting because I think he can be just the perfect all-around player. I really do. Now the Timberwolves do not have a good record of putting a team around any star. KG, Kevin Love, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns kind of has had probably the best out of any of those stars. Well, I mean, KG had a lot of good players too, but even still, like, it's still, we're talking Minnesota level, but yeah, I mean, Towns has had a lot. We've brought in a lot of talent for him, and it's just not working right now. Let's see. What else now? Towns lost athleticism. Yep. A1 for Ant. Yep. Let's see. As lowered his ceiling. Cat's legs are too heavy for him. Interesting. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Mamba Hustle. Cat's legs are too heavy for him. That's an interesting way to think of it. Actually, that is the perfect way to describe it, because he does look strange. Because he's so thin and kind of slender for like a big, but then it does look like his top half is able to do kind of movement and fast like a guard, but his legs just don't move. Yeah, that's a great point, Mamba. Yes. Step up, Gupta. It's time to do your job. At this point, it is, right? We're 3-7. We're 4 games below 500. With the hardest games yet to come. Why not just rip the Band-Aid now instead of making it painful? Bring Chet home. Chet is interesting because he's skinny. Like his frame, there's got to be some word for it. It kind of like scares me. It's like a phobia or something. But like he's so thin. But hey, people obviously at the Orlando Magic game, people went insane when Suggs did anything. So if we could get a Minnesota kid in the Timberwolves, I mean Tyus too to some extent, but Tyus was never like a star player for us. But how did Cat lose weight and get slower? True, and that's what I don't understand. That's what I kind of figured. He might be faster this year, be able to beat more bigs off like the dribble. But then he's going against. I mean, now that he's lost weight, people are putting guards on him, and he doesn't know how to handle it. He's even still tonight. You can see the only way he knows how to use and like post up is with his forearm, like this part of his arm, not his shoulder, not his back, not his butt. Literally his like shoulder to even wrist to like gain room against somebody. It's insane to me. It's insane. Bonchero to Minnesota. Hey, I was watching. Should we watch Bonchero highlights tonight? Actually, I was watching him and I was just so sad. I had to turn him off. I had to. Although I love drafting, I love doing all that stuff. How sad is that? How many years do we have to deal with this? Mamba Hustle. We need to trade Cat for Valanciunas and Devontae Graham in a first. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that a lot, actually. My deal that in my head that I keep saying that Ashwin doesn't like, and luckily he's not here, so I can say it all that I want. I kind of like the idea of trading him to the Suns. um, for DeAndre Ayton and a first. Then you get a center that I think would be good on this team, and then a first, which would be good. Also, another one, and this is Ashwin if you're watching. This is the team that I forgot. The Bulls. The Bulls could trade for Towns, even though they have, I mean, they have Valanciunas. Or not Valanciunas. What am I saying? They have Vucevic. Yeah, Ayton. Yeah, do you like Ayton, Gerald Beckard? I kind of like him. But Warriors honestly told Wiggins to destroy and demoralize Towns in every way, so we trade Towns for Wiggins and a pick. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, Warriors playing chess, seriously. Ayton's going to be a free agent, though. Yes, but at the same time, that's why one, that could give us some flexibility if Ayton just doesn't work here. But two, it might give us an option to sign him to a short deal so that he can kind of prove himself here. I know he wants the max, but it's something that we might be able to do. If it works, then we can max him. But, I mean, I know some people are probably cringing, like, insanely. But I really like Ayton. I think that would work well. And then Towns gets to play with his buddy, Devin Booker, in a warm climate. Wins for everyone. Also, Phoenix would need a big in that situation. And, I mean, Towns is a great big to have next to a friend. And I think Towns needs a new environment, similar to Wiggins. Wiggins was never going to be a better player with us. He just wasn't. Either you're going to have to bring in somebody like Jimmy to really push people, which even still he didn't. I mean, KG was in there like saying you need to be an all-star, and he's like, oh, I pinky promise next year. So, I think it would be good for Towns to go to another team. And I know this episode, okay, you're gonna have to bear with me. If you are a mega Towns fan, you're not probably gonna like this episode because I'm gonna be talking very badly about Towns I already have been. But to give Towns some credit, he is he can be a top 10, top 15 player in the league. Right now, he just doesn't have the mental mindset for it. He just doesn't. He doesn't. And I think if he went to a new team, there's a possibility he could do that. Similar to how Wiggins did to us tonight. We are the minor leagues for the rest of the league in every sport. Mamba Hustle says, or Wamba, let me go back. Let's see. Whoa, I missed so many. Bomero, Ant, Jaylen Brown, McDaniels, and Williams. I kind of like that. Let's see. Who throws the lob on our team? Yeah, there's... Oh, yeah. Well, did D'Lo throw the lob to Ant tonight? I don't even remember. Rubio, yeah. I honestly think Cat is going to get traded by the deadline. I think so too, Mamba. I hope it's sooner than that, I don't know if other teams will be ready for that because obviously we've been so set in keeping Towns. You can't just go from, oh, he's untouchable to we want to trade him within the week like I want to. So I think that's going to be a little tricky. But I do agree. We can't move forward with this team. It doesn't work. And again, we played the Warriors, so really I shouldn't be absolutely tanking on losing to the Warriors, who are now 10-1. But it's still, you see the team, you see Towns, it's not working. It's just not working. But let's see. We don't have anybody on the team that can catch him other than Ant. Yeah, that's true. Wiggins destroyed kids in high school, then didn't really dunk for years, then decided to own us tonight. True. Celtics are panicking. Celtics are probably a good match. I mean, because the Bulls don't really need anybody. They're playing really well. The Knicks maybe. The Knicks are now 7-5, so they started off hot and now they're not so much. But they'd have to give up. They'd still have to give up probably more than they'd be willing to. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe they'd have to give up picks and probably Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett or something. I don't even know. I have no idea. I don't pay attention to the Knicks. I'd take Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I guess maybe I need to be thinking more about Jaylen Brown. I just think that it overlaps too much with... right now we actually have a lot of wings on our team. Or do we have a lot of wings? We have Ant. We have Beasley, kind of. Well, Beasley's a wing. But... And then it's kind of like Okogie, Tweener, who is technically, I guess, a power forward for us. And then you got Vanderbilt. And then you got... I don't know. Kind of weird. But... yeah, we still need a center. And I think that's kind of my whole thing about this is if we're going to trade Towns, weirdly, we need a center. Also, weirdly, the Golden State Warriors would make a lot of sense for a trade. They need a big. They have Wiseman is still hurt. I guess we could trade for Wiseman, Kuminga, and picks. Maybe Wiggins too. I don't know. Oh my god. We do need a bruiser, and I really do want a bruiser, and that's why I want Aiton. I like Aiton. That's my pick. And I don't think the Suns have really any reason to be scrambling to go trade right now, other than the fact that Aiton specifically wanted a max and didn't get a max. Let's see, where are they in the standings? The Phoenix Suns are 7-3 and they're third in the West. Probably don't need to be panicking, but you know, since Aiton didn't get the max, I think the Suns would be open to any kind of, yeah. I think that would make sense too. It would make sense for both sides. It's sad for us because obviously Towns is a better Towns can be a better player, and probably is a better player than Aiton. He is a better player than Aiton, but Aiton might work better in our system, and just Towns isn't right now. No Kuminga, please. Yeah, I don't want Kuminga. I want Allen, Okoro, and picks. See, I like Allen. I really do like Allen and picks from the Cavs specifically, but I think the Cavs will be a player for Ben Simmons if Ben Simmons is moved. I think they have enough pieces. They have enough bigs, and they have some really talented pieces to give to Philadelphia and picks. They've got a lot of stuff, but throwing Kevin Love. Yeah, Kevin Love. Let's get Kevin Love in here. Oh man. So Wombat brings up a good question. Does D'Angelo Russell need to go too? Because, well, here, I'll let you guys answer that for a second, and then I'm going to say my answer after you guys have caught up on the stream delay. But does D'Angelo Russell need to be traded as well as Cat? Personally, I'd say no, but I'm open to it. I'm certainly open to it. I'm not like so pro D'Lo, but because I do think that his game is very 50-50. Like, either it's absolutely helping you or it's definitely hurting you, and it's crazy. Let's see. So what is everybody saying? Wombat says let's see. This Wombat, I love D'Lo's. Okay, so yes, I think so. Yes, Wombat. Okay, I gotta read it over here. Sorry. D'Lo's a liability, and his offense isn't good enough to justify zero defense. Right now, you're right. I think that there is a version of D'Lo that his offense can make up for his defense, but right now it's not quite. We're getting probably 60% of the player that we need out of him, so he needs 40% more offense or 40% more defense. Let's see. It's going to make people mad that he doesn't do anything on D. Yeah, it has to make people mad, yeah. D'Lo's only here because Town wanted him to. And see, man, there's like this weird possibility that the Suns could end up with the four of those guys. They'd have to give up their entire team for it, which, again, why would they do that? They're 7-3. But, if they really wanted to go wild into the D'Lo, Towns, Booker, Simmons, I don't know how you make that work, and I don't know why you'd want to make that work, but that would just be one of those like fun experiments to have happen. Have all those four players and then just minimum players. God, that would be awful. But interesting. I'd watch that team. How many years are on his contract? Are we talking about D'Lo's contract? That's a great question. Let's pull up Basketball Reference. That's where you can find it, right? Oh shoot, I forgot. I gotta see if they're giving away free Timberwolves tickets because apparently I want to go to this stuff. What is his? Could we wait it out before Ant hits his prime? Wait, Cat and D'Lo? His contract, you're saying? That's a great question. I'm not sure. One more year after this year. Thank you, Godfrey. Sorry, I was distracted looking for free tickets. But I'm gonna pull up Basketball Reference anyways because I do want to see all the salaries on our team. Perhaps this should just be done. I should just do this here with you guys, right? We should all just look at this together. Reference. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I don't know how to type. Okay, let's get to that screen. Where's Minnesota? Money. Okay. Let's look at the salary together. Okay, sorry if this doesn't work. I'm so disconnected right now on everything. It didn't work. There, you're back. bear with me 1 second. Does this work? Kinda. Let's do. Maybe let's do this. You can't see this still, can you? You can't. Okay, sorry. I don't know. We're working on it. Highlights, maybe. No. I'm messing it up. Oh, this is our old one. Oh my goodness. Never mind. We're not gonna look at it. And I just messed up again. Oh my goodness. I'm out of control. Anyways. But I'll pull it up on my phone. You guys just go to Basketball Reference. I can't do this. But so we have Towns through the 2024 season, or 2023-2024 season. We have D'Angelo Russell. Oh, okay, yeah. So only next season. That's when his last year of his contract is. So you could kind of keep D'Lo. You could keep D'Lo around for another year, right? Is that so? I mean, if we're going to be tanking and rebuilding, not tanking. Well, I mean, he might be a tank master. He's a great tank master, actually, right? Yeah, I'm off the rails. I'm so sorry, everybody. We have so many viewers, and I just messed it all up. um, but yeah, if you're new here, give it a like. Give the stream a like. Anyways, I've lost everything. I've lost all sense of anything. D'Lo expiring might be valuable. 100%. I think it will next season, especially for a rebuilding team with Ant. Because I think with Ant and a rebuilding team, I don't think we're necessarily like so bad, right? We're probably no worse than we are now, right? Or maybe only a little. Maybe we're way worse. I don't know. But Cat is a great tank master. Yeah, Cat is. Did I say Cat? I meant D'Lo. But yeah, D'Lo doesn't deserve another. Oh, that's from Grayson Chester. Welcome to the stream, Grayson. Is that the man? Wait, Grayson. Is this Grayson? This is Goose Egg Grayson. Anyway, sorry to roast you. But if we could somehow get Moses Moody, or as I refer to him as Moody Moses, and Wiseman, and a lot of picks, I would take that. Yeah, but the Warriors picks, I mean, I guess any pick is going to be good, but losses to follow for Paolo. You're really trying to make that work. I hate it here. It is Grayson. Okay, Goose Egg Grayson. Why does D'Lo deserve anything? He's hurt all the time. True. Towns for Pelicans first round picks. Hey, I'm down for first round picks. I know I'm down for first round picks, but I'm also down to sign a bunch of old vets. You know, I think what the Timberwolves need to do for their rebranding of, because like right now nobody in the league respects the Timberwolves. Nobody, you know. But if you do something, you have to do something to change that perception. So maybe it's a good place to pay older players a decent amount of money, a tundra tax, if you will, for their kind of ending days in the NBA. You know, they may retire after they are in Minnesota. They may not be very good in Minnesota, but, you know, they're vets. They're there for the young ones. And then, so you have a team of half vets, half young players, instead of like right now where we only have basically Patrick Beverley and Jake Layman, I guess. But, you know, we have that kind of a culture. And then players know that, oh, in Minnesota, that's kind of, Minnesota's a place that pays players. Like, they take care of them. You know, it gives a good reputation in the league amongst players. And if you're going to be a rebuilding team, why not just have a bunch of older people and a bunch of younger people so that you can kind of build some kind of a system there, you know? The Thunder Tracks is real, though, 100%. Towns for Brown. Oh, Jaylen Brown. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. Towns for Jaylen Brown and D'Lo for Miles Turner. Yeah, but see, I don't understand why Indiana Pacers want to trade him. Are they bad? I thought they were like, okay. Oh, never mind. They're really bad. They're also 13th. I'm stupid. Maybe they want D'Lo. Yeah, we didn't play Torian. Thank goodness. My goodness. Something like D'Lo and Towns look to be the same page. Yeah. Oh, it's just a rough. Cat's stat line: 6 of 19 from the floor, 5 of 10 from deep, 1 of 9 from the paint. That's terrible. That's awful. That's as Charles Barkley would say, horror awful. Or no, is that Shaq? I can't remember. But uh, who cares if they're BFFs if they have zero court chemistry or chemistry on the court? Yeah, true. 1 of 9 from the paint. That's pretty bad. 3-way trade. Simmons to the Pacers. Miles Turner to the Timberwolves. And Brogdon. Oh wait, Sixers get Brogdon and Malik Beasley. Maybe. Maybe that could work. Well, I don't know if they want that. They probably want more than that. But Towns and D'Lo are millionaires. Can't they hang out together in the offseason? Can't any of these players? They don't need to be friends. They all need to play on the same team. I was really hopeful that when D'Lo came here, that it would be. I was really hopeful that it would be a situation where it's like, okay, we're together now. Let's win together. And maybe that was, but it's just not there. It's just not. Sixers do that. You think the Sixers do? Interesting. Does Beasley even have trade value? Right now, it's up in question. I think he will later this season. I've said this a couple times already this season. I think it's going to take a while for Beasley to get ready again to be like in prime Beasley, I guess. Because he was obviously he was in jail and had a weird off season, so it's tricky. But Cat needs a new team, but the Wolves value him way higher than the league sees him. This is also very true, Grayson. Yeah. Here's the thing. He can possibly be, we were talking about this earlier, Grayson. He has the potential of being a top 10, 15, 20 player in the league if he stops making mental mistakes and trying to be fancy. If he just played within a system, people would know of him for sure. But right now, you have a great point because this is what other teams, other fans, what everybody else thinks of him. Nobody thinks of him as a possible top 10 player. Nobody does. And I do genuinely believe that, even though I'm going to shit on him in this entire episode, I do believe that he could be a top 10 player. But nobody believes that right now, so we have to get scraps. Now, we're not giving what Brantley says in Plumlee. We're not going to get Plumlee, but we will get somebody. They should have smuggled the new basketball into Beasley's presence. Oh my god, yeah. Nobody except Rosas. True. Okay, well, we're going to do something that I actually know how to do. And we're going to, yes, and Ashwin just brought up a great point. He wants to be famous. Convinced ever since the naked ESPN body issue, his career trajectory tanked. Very true. And sorry, Brantley, yeah, no Plumlee. But we're going to do something that I know how to do. This is our nightly tier list. If you're new here, 1, leave a like and subscribe. But 2, we do this nightly tier list based off of tonight's stats and tonight's games for players. So we have A1 as the top tier, and we have Juancho as the bottom tier. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, obviously, Timberwolves legend at this point. And we base it off of tonight. We're pretty harsh with the grading. A1 is reserved for like insane games. Juancho is like terrible games. And C is what we expect out of a player. It's kind of tricky to do, but yeah. Finish up a couple of these chats real quick. He's famous right now. 2 clips on House of Highlights get him embarrassed like Wiggins. I like that. But that's like taking the flair out of Trae Young. He consistently produces points while having his own style. If Trae didn't do what he does... Yeah, so here's the thing, Grayson, though, is that Towns does that flair, but it's not flair that is productive in any way. It's just not. It like Trae Young does have flair, and like other players that I'm forgetting about right now have flair, but Towns' flair is like just wildly unnecessary, and he's said in the past that he needs to do that in order to feel like that's just who he is, that's just how he plays. And it's like, well, if that's how you play, then you're a turnover machine. And even though he didn't have like so many turnovers tonight, it's still just like, actually he had none. Really? That seems crazy. But it's just, there's no benefit to his flashiness. It's not like a between the legs that actually gets a defender to stumble back. It's like he will like rotate the ball around his leg for no reason. Or like a couple games ago, he was on the sideline and he's like going around his head as if it's like some amazing feat. It's just crazy. I hate it. But what does John say? I have to read the tweets today. What does John say? John Krasinski. John Crawbomb. Sorry, we'll get into the tier list in a second. Well, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but he says, yes, okay, yeah, Finch, he obviously has a personal vendetta, 100%, and that's the only reason he played tonight. That's the only reason he tried tonight. That's what Wiggins does. And then Cat also, another one, he says, we gotta play to get our respect. We're just not getting it. Dude, I'm over Towns. I'm over him. I'd kill for a Brandon Clark-like effort on this team. You got that from Vando tonight. Vando had it. 100%. I'm over Towns, man. I'm just over him. Anyways, we're going to go to the tier list. We will talk more about Towns once we get to him. But I'm going to try to fly through a lot of these bench players, even though some deserve some recognition. Some do. Okay, and I am probably already going to mess this up. Let's see. Boom, I didn't mess it up. Holy cow. Okay, let's get the highlights rolling. All right, there we go. So, we didn't see any McKinley Wright, no Torian Prince tonight, which I didn't put him on the did not plays yet. No Jake Layman, no Nathan Knight, no Jalen Noel, no Balmaro, and basically no McLaughlin. He played 5 minutes and had 1 assist. So that's your did not plays tonight. And sorry, the highlights are going to cut in and out as I do this. I have to figure out a new way to do this. So, driving me crazy. Anyways, get back to here. So we had no Ed Davis also, no Ricky Rubio, no Jarrett Culver, no Wancho, no Torian Prince. Who was it that I said? Oh, I mean, basically he did nothing. We don't really expect anything from him. Get the highlights back on going here. All right, so the next up we have, well, actually, Josh Okogie also barely played, so we're just going to put him in a C just because he didn't contribute, and he also didn't really take away from the team. Also, I'm kind of craving more Josh minutes for some reason. I'm just a crazy person, and maybe it's because he gave me tickets to a game. We'll never know. But anyways, on to the 8-man rotation that we basically had tonight. So we're going to lump Beasley. Well, we can't lump Beasley and Vanderbilt together because Beasley was 1 of 6 and Vanderbilt was skying for rebounds and just crazy effort plays. Honestly, Vanderbilt tonight is probably, is it fair to say that he was an A tonight? His effort out there was insane. He just wasn't getting paid off when other players were missing layups. I almost think it's fair to give him an A, right? Yeah, A Vando. I agree. I think Vando deserves this A. He played with effort out there. Obviously, we can't play him so much because he's just nothing on offense. But he was a negative tonight. I'm glad Okogie didn't get much play tonight. You're talking about Okogie, right? Interesting. Okay. I was like, there's no way you're talking about that. Yeah, but he only played 6 minutes, Godfrey. It's not like he played like 10, 20 minutes. Well, 10's really close to 6. But, like 15, 20 minutes. I guess I don't really remember that much of it. It was only 6 minutes. And it was only 1 turnover and only 1 personal foul. So I'm not really going to hold that against him. Also, at this point, what do we expect out of him anyways? So A for Vando, 100% agree. But Beasley, we're on to next. So Beasley, he was 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 of 6 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3. Bad. Beasley would be way better on a team like the Lakers. Yeah, there was actually a point in which I thought we might trade Beasley to the Lakers during the offseason. I can't remember why. We were going to get rid of some player. I can't remember. I'm blanking. I don't know why. Hey, there's a Vando dunk. Beasley D. I think that's fair. Gerald, I am right in line with you right now. You too, Godfrey and Wombat. Holy cow, everybody says D. It's a D. Who is this? I'm already forgetting. This is where is he? Who are we talking about? Beasley. Okay, yeah. There he is. It's a D. Sorry, I guess I'm unlocked. F tier for Beasley. Honestly, it's pretty close. I'd say it's pretty low D tier. It was looking very flat tonight. All right, and the last of the bench players, just because I want to get through them quickly and talk about the starters, mainly Anthony Edwards and Towns, but and a little bit of D'Lo. But Naz Reid, another good game from Naz Reid. You'll love to see that. And honestly, whoa, he's actually got the worst plus minus on the team. I thought he was going to have the best. He was out there making some plays, you know. He played 25 minutes, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He was only 5 of 12 shooting, so he actually did take quite a few shots and miss them. But I felt like he played pretty well. He had that crazy crossover. He had a dunk. He had... Well, actually, we're probably coming up on some of his highlights here. How are we feeling on Nas tonight? Because I wouldn't necessarily say it was like... I don't think it was A tier, right? I think we should save Wancho for a certain fella. I like where your head is at, JJ. C, Nas. B. Nas was awesome tonight. Plus minus wasn't kind of him, yeah. Nas looks effective. Yeah. C. I think it's fair to give him a B, you know, because I think this is probably more than we expect out of him, honestly. I mean, 16 points is pretty good, so I think we'll do that. I think that's fair to him. Oops, I keep going to the highlights and not this. Nas, you get a B tonight. Good job. Good job, Nas. Yeah, I think B minus is probably pretty close. The Giannis Euro step. Yeah, it was a Euro step, not a crossover. That's what I meant. But yeah, that was insane. I heard the crowd ooh and ah for that one. All right, we're on to the starters, and we're going to very quickly run through Jaden McDaniels, who, not going to say it, who called it? Who called it this season that Jaden was not going to be Jaden this year? Me. I did. This guy. Jaden is not looking good this year. And that's not to say that I'm not a believer in Jaden going forward for like a role player on the team. But there were too many people this offseason saying like, oh, Jaden's like a star of this team. And if he's going to be a star, he's at least 5 years away from that. Like, we're not close. But yeah, Jaden just did not look good tonight. Hasn't looked good really all season. There's been a couple games where he's been okay. But overall, you know, it's just not good. I think Jaden is not ref fairly. This is a true point, you know. Let's see. I'm looking right, but at what cost? I mean, you know, that's the thing, you know. You bet against the Timberwolves and you look good, but then you lose everything. Because if you bet against, anytime you bet against the Timberwolves, you're going to win. 100%. I wish sports betting was legal in Minnesota because, guys, I'd be a millionaire. This stream would be from like a private studio that I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for just because of all the money that I would win off of betting that the Timberwolves lose games. And by lose games, I mean lose games that we are winning. Anyways, he's a D tier. I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. D tier. I guess he's probably better than Beasley, though, just because Beasley we expect more out of. So, Jaden breathes on people and fouls are automatic. That is true. Also, he does get hit a little bit on offense, too. But also, my God, his offensive game looked atrocious tonight. I mean, he's trying to finish with his left hand, and he like barely can get it up on the rim. Like, what are we talking about? You should be rich just for betting the under on the Wolves record before the season. Yeah, I mean, I did not bet against us in that regard, though. I thought we'd be a 500 team this year. I really did. That was more of like a law of averages type of thing. How long can you really be this bad? Seriously. Jaden is going to be a complimentary player on a bad team. He's not going to look good. Also, this is only his second year, and that's the thing. That's also the reason why I said it. Jaden is in his second year. You know, sophomore slumps happen to players like that where they catch people by surprise the first year. This next year, people just understand. They're like, okay, I know I can do and I know what I shouldn't do. Like, I should not have to guard Jaden. And then I also should probably swing the ball away from Jaden or drive on Jaden because I'm going to get a foul call. So that's just what sucks about it. Any player that surprises people in the first year, that's what happens. Yeah, remember I had us at 52 wins this year. Yeah, I did. Not me personally. I did say, just before people go out there and cancel me, I did say that if everything went right for the Wolves this year, and by everything I mean like Anthony Edwards is having 30-plus point games, Towns 30-plus, D'Lo 30+ point games, and then the bench is all performing exactly how we expected. I did think 50 was possible, but I think a true prediction was 41 and 41, and I don't know. It's gonna be bad. I also expected us to start the season 5-8, or 5-3, excuse me, and we've started three. We started 3-5, and now we're 3-7. So, yikes. Anyways, Jaden D tier only played 14 minutes tonight because he had 5 personal fouls again. But we're on to some of the main players. I'm gonna skip ahead a couple seconds just because Patrick Beverley is above D'Angelo Russell in minutes, and I want to save the big three for last. So Patrick Beverley, kind of a stinker, a little bit of a stinker of a night. He played 35 minutes, had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 of 7 shooting, and it looked bad. 0 from 3, missed a free throw, had 5 personal fouls as well. Only had 1 turnover, but it was a pretty bad game for Pat Bev. I don't think Jack Borman on Twitter looked at the Warriors box score tonight. Why do you say that? D tier for... I think that's actually pretty fair, Godfrey. I think he played really bad. Don't ever compare Ant to Andrew Wiggins. Oh, no. Did he? Oh, my gosh. Jack. What are you talking about? Somebody just asked me, would we take Simmons for Towns? No. Anyways. Longest winning streak since we've had Towns is 5 games in 2018. Holy cow. I can't read that. That makes me want to vomit. Okay. But yeah, I think D for Patrick Beverley. I lost him. There he is. We expect a lot more out of him. He did have a couple of sneaky kind of steals and blocks tonight. Or did he have a block? I can't remember. He had at least a steal, I believe. Where'd he go? He had he had a block, but he did not have a steal. But he's a good defender, but he's just not been what we need this year. And I think he's, again, kind of similar to what we were just talking about with Jaden. He needs to be a complementary player on a team. Probably not a starter, and he's starting now. You know, Finch is throwing him out there, and we'll get to Finch in a second too, but like the lineups have been kind of wonky, you know. Oh no, if we trade Towns, we'll be bottom feeders instead of a bottom feeder. Can we cancel Jack Portman? Oh, I feel bad for him. Yeah, D for Beverly though. Bad game. All right, we're on to our big three that are going to lead us to a championship. We're going to start with D'Lo. D'Lo had 18 points, 7 assists, 7 of 15 shooting, 4 of 10 from 3, and 4 fouls, 4 turnovers, and just awful defense. Awful defense. Who's Jack Borman? Godfrey? You don't even want to know. He's on Twitter. CeeLo. Yeah, you know, out of the top 3, obviously Anthony Edwards is 1. D'Lo was 2 tonight. For sure. I mean, Towns was just not good tonight. But D'Lo, you know, D'Lo's kind of interesting. He has so many stans on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere that just love him. You know, they love him. And they'll defend him just like all of Jarrett Culver stans. You know, it's like that. But, you know, there's also a part of it where, like, I mean, D'Lo's defense is so atrocious, but offensively, he can really get us out of some ruts at times and get the team kind of going, you know, which is something that I appreciate from him. But we just need so much more out of him. Grayson, you say B tier. Interesting. Wanchlo, D'Lo, CeeLo. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I don't know if I want to give him a D. I feel like he's probably closer to a C tonight, although C is what we expect out of a player, you know? And we expect more out of D'Lo than 18 points and 7 assists. He shot okay. But we were kind of, I mean, personally, I was hoping for a revenge D'Lo game, and that didn't happen. I think C, a lot of Wolves Twitter and Reddit is clueless, I'm not going to lie. So, Christian, Wolves Twitter is primarily, and I hate to offend anybody, and I don't mean any offense, but there are so many young, I don't know why, but there are so many young fans on Twitter, and by young, I mean, like, I'm thinking, like, borderline, like, 10. Like, not like 16, not like 15, 14, I mean, like, 10 years old. And they throw lots of different things around. I think Reddit is like older, but they are so stubborn. The Reddits, and I say that as a moderator of our Timberwolves. They are stubborn, and poor JJ Creates has been absolutely murdered relentlessly for harping on Towns for the past couple of years. And now look who's on top. Look who's on top now, JJ. Oh my goodness. Uh I think you have to realize how suffocating the Golden State defense can be. Can be. Yeah, for sure. Um Born in Minnesota, maybe that's the only reason. Yeah, true. It's crazy. They just have to root for this team. I'm on top with all my downvotes, still on top. I think D'Lo, as much as D'Lo can succeed on any given night, and his defense stays terrible, a good team with good defense is going to make an upcoming player struggle. D'Lo domino effects are bad defense at the hoop. Yes, lots of people choose Wolves because of the logo design and KG era. Yeah, it's KG. Everybody still is like, oh, KG's still on the team. Well, here's Wiggins owning us. Is this the putback dunk? It's the putback. Oh my god. Look at that energy. That's that 1 out of every 10 games, 20 games for Wiggins, you know? Towns kicks out on a 3 again. Again. I hate him. I hate him as a player. Anyways, D'Lo, we're going to give him a C tonight. I think that's fair, but, well, low C. Just because I don't think he was as bad as these players. Again, I know I'm breaking all my rules. This is probably stupid, but we're going to give it that. So, anyways, we're on to Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. We're going to start with Karl Anthony Towns. Get your grades in for Karl Anthony Towns. And while you're at it, getting your grades in, if you're new here, like the stream, subscribe to the stream, follow us on Twitter. You know, hey, we're doing this after every game, regardless of how gut-wrenching it is. We're here, you know. And Ashwin would be here if his power wasn't out, and I think his power went out to save him. You know, I think it was an act of God that saved Ashwin from having to do the show. Yeah. So, what do we say about Towns? I saw your comment on an RNBA post about the Wolves today. Let's see. Speaking the truth, let's see. We need a sub Wancho tier for Cat tonight. Ooh, what would that be? What's sub Wancho tier though? I mean, Wancho is god awful. Okay, so JJ's got Wancho. We've got Ashwin, who has Wancho tier for Karl Anthony Towns. Do I hear any other Wanchos? Is anybody here going to defend Glenn Taylor tier? Holy cow. You win. That's it. That's just it. Oh my god. Or Shabazz. Yeah, Shabazz would be good too. But Shabazz is kind of interesting. Grayson says C. My goodness, Grayson. You're feeling spunky tonight. 6 of 19 shooting, embarrassed twice. At least he didn't turn over. Yeah, he didn't turn over. That was kind of crazy. Glenn Taylor tier may be coming soon. Maybe we'll have like a circle of shame. Instead of a tier list, we'll move to a totally different thing where we choose a player to put in like the Glenn Taylor Ring of Fire or something like that. David Kahn, Joe Smith signing tier. Yes, all of these. Oh, Gorilla watching tier. Everybody's got the great ideas tonight. I love all of those. And I think I'm going to have to agree with the majority here. Joe Smith signing, Glenn Taylor, Gorilla watching, Shabazz, Wancho tier. This is not a game that you want out of your supposed to be passing on Curry tier. This is not Wiggins dunk on Towns as we say it. That's painful to watch. You know, this is the same thing we've said every single night. His stats are somewhat there. 17 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Shooting wise, obviously not tonight. 6 of 19, 1 of 9 from the paint. 4 personal fouls, so fouls again. He was actually a positive player tonight. I can't believe that. It's true, obviously, but Your stream is awesome. I'm hopping off. Let's get some Warzone games for sure. I'm actually grinding Vanguard like crazy right now. So I'm getting all those guns leveled up, but then I will definitely be playing Warzone with you, Brantley, and whoever else wants to watch you and me get goose eggs. I appreciate you stopping by, Grayson. Let's see. Catching up on, let's see. That's all he can do now. I'm being serious. He's looking below average at every aspect but threes. He's shooting 46% from downtown. Yeah, no, I agree, JJ. I think at this point, if we're going to talk constructively about Towns and like if he's really going to stay on this team, because I know I just keep saying trade him, but like if we're going to talk constructively about him, we need to completely change. We need a center to play center, and we need a power forward to play power forward. And then we should probably move Towns to like small forward or even shooting guard. Seriously, I'm not joking. Because at this point, he could be more of a KD type of player. I'm not saying he's KD. I'm not saying he's anywhere near KD. But like, think of it. He could be somebody that is instead just getting shots up and maybe driving, trying to beat. If he has a big gun, he can drive and do that. And then his size becomes more of a positive. But then we get back to the issue of Towns can't post up against a small player, nor can he really stay in front of a player that is like a shooting guard or a small forward or a point guard. He can't, like, he just can't, Like, oh God, it's crazy. Chucky Buckets inspired take when you said he should be a shooting forward. Does he say that too? Yeah, Chucky Buckets. I just recently saw him on Twitter. He was talking a lot about trading Towns. But yeah, maybe we keep Towns just for Jay Wood. Yeah, Christian. Your one or two can't be a big. You can't do anything down low. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so D'Lo, Ant, Cat, Vando, Nas. At this point, I mean, why not? Almost, Yeah, JJ. It was. He was talking to me, and we were kind of going back and forth, essentially circle jerking. But he's Poku with facial hair. Oh yeah, true. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna put Towns in Wancho tier. Sad sight, but it is true. Been coming for a long time. It's just what it is. But Timberwolves fans, those of you that are still here, we are on to the actual excitement of the night and the only good thing to say tonight. Anthony Edwards. Get your grades in. We already know what the grade is, but get your grades in for Anthony Edwards' career night. 41 minutes. He played the most on the team. He had 48 points. 48 points as a 20-year-old. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He was 16 of 27, shot 60% from the field. He was 7 of 13 from 3. He was 9 of 12 for his free throws. He got 12 free throws tonight. He did have 6 turnovers, and he had some kind of bad turnovers, which we'll forgive him tonight, but it is a trend. He needs to be a better ball handler when he's driving, and I think that's why he is scared to drive occasionally. And he only had 1 personal foul on a pretty good defensive night for him. And we've got A1 from JJ. We've got A1 from Gerald. We've got A1 from Christian. Ant picked his spots early, basically took over the game without forcing it. Yeah, I loved watching him and Wiggins go at it. I'll take that, If Wiggins wants to slam on us, I'll take an Anthony Edwards 48-point game. However, Andrew Wiggins had 35, so I thought he had 40 for some reason. Anyways, he went 23 points per game to 26. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy good looking for high volume, 100%. Yeah, this is an A1 game for him. It is crazy. Ashwin, I'm sure that the broadcast for them, I'm sure they loved Ant, right? I'm sure because this is what they've done in the past. They really like the star player so they can kind of maybe win over some of the other team's fans. But then every single call is, that's not really a call on the Warriors. That's got to be a foul on the Wolves. This is ridiculous. Someone brings out the Reddit post. Anthony Edwards is averaging something during his 10 games. Yeah. Garner all the upvotes. Seriously, this is just like shout out C&D pod. They always joke about how you could be like Anthony Edwards, just tweet Anthony Edwards is awesome and just watch the likes pile up, Yeah, they were very high on him. I assumed this is what they did with the Wiggins. This is what they did with Levine, because like this is actually very reminiscent of a game that we had with both Wiggins and Levine, where those two kind of came back in the game, um, and we actually even brought it back to like a 1 point game. But then the Warriors did the Warriors thingy, did it. But um, yeah, I used to see the thing is that I used to watch the Warriors announcers because when the Warriors started to get really good, when they drafted Steph Curry, I started watching the Warriors a little bit on League Pass, and I actually for a time really liked them for some reason. And I really do think that they've changed though, because I think that before the championships, they were a little less biased. But now they're just so mega biased. It's insane. Um it's painful to listen to, and I'm sorry you had to. But let's see. I was watching on a legal streaming site that chat was all Warriors fans. Yeah. Man, watching Gary Payton 2 or the 2, what am I saying? Gary Payton the second just dunk on us was also one of the lowest points in probably in my Timberwolves fandom career. For real. It's tough to change when you're swimming in luxury. Yeah. Crazy. But Ant was A1. Oh, I put him there already. I didn't even realize it. So, there you go. There you go. What a fun game. I didn't put Finch up there. I guess I probably should have put Finch up there. Oh, JJ, you got to be careful. You can't say Gary Payton Jr. They were talking about this on the Timberwolves broadcast. It's Gary Payton 2, as I said. The 2, yeah. I think it was Jim Pete that was correcting Dave Benz at a point, and Dave Benz just totally ignored him. My goodness. Yeah, I think that's the right tier list. Again, another great tier list by us. Look at us go. Oh, man. Well, I'm very excited I got my season tickets. No Torian Prince is a humongous W. We actually had a chance at the end of the game. Yeah, there is a junior also. That's the crazy thing. I can't grade Finch because I don't know what to expect from him. See, Gerald, you bring up a great point. I didn't grade Finch because it's so hard to grade the coaches. It's just like impossible. But also, it's hard to know. And this is something I was listening to a couple of different Timberwolves podcasts. I was listening to, of course, Dane Moore, and I was listening to him and Britt talk a little bit. And, I think Dane was getting at the right point with some of the questions that he was asking Towns and Finch after the game, because Finch has always talked about not really having like super set plays, like how Tibbs would come in and it was like plays, we would run plays. Instead, it's Finch is just about like flow. This is Dane Moore's words, but like just like the flow of it, and you want to have players like moving when they're not on the ball, and just having movement but not running plays, which is really difficult for a team that's very inexperienced like we are to do. Weirdly, Beasley is probably the best at the system. He's just not making his shots right now, offensively that is. But he asked Towns something to the effect of like, well, how do you, like, what do you need to do better with that? And Towns said execute. And Dane's like, what does executing look like in the system? And that's when Towns kind of was like, we make millions of dollars, we got to figure it out. So clearly Towns does not understand how to play with flow. He doesn't understand the system, and it's clear he's struggling this season. But man, Dan and Britt were getting into some good material. Yeah, they really were. It was a really good podcast, I think. I've started to really like Britt. I don't know why. He's just really funny to me. But it's I think that's a good point, and something that it's hard to judge off of, because I think right now that the players aren't playing with flow. I keep using this wrong. Flow. But I don't know how you judge that. How do you execute flow? How do you do all of this? Dane Moore makes great points. So it's just tricky. And to go back to Finch, it's like, well, how do you grade Finch then when that system probably is going to take a quarter of a season, half a season, or a full season to even do? I don't think we have a full season to really wait and find out. I don't want to wait a full season to find out anyways. But we may have to. We may not trade Towns halfway through the season. We may wait until the end of the season. and then use D'Lo as an expiring or something like that. So, um, oh, I just got an interesting reply on Twitter from somebody named Isaac Hinch, who does not follow me but does not want to trade Towns. Trading Cat would just reset the losing period back to 0. Wolves have the franchise cornerstones to win more. They just have to figure out how to do it. If the Suns can figure it out while keeping Booker and Ayton, the Wolves can figure it out with Edwards and Towns. I don't agree. Yeah, I don't want to wait till the deadline. Let's see. He's good. Let's see. We just got to figure it out. That's it, right? We just figure it out and we're over. That ends the Timberwolves' terrible losing streak. You know, there is a point to that though, where it's like, okay, we can't just have a revolving door of, you know, over and over and over again rebuilding. But like right now, I just don't see hope. It's not like I can see it working. It's like I definitely can see it not working. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I make a TikTok of this someday of me being like, wow, I see absolutely no hope for the Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell era of Timberwolves basketball. And I hope that at the end of this season, we're deep into a playoff run after a crazy second half season surge. I hope that's what happens. But is that what's going to happen? Absolutely not. Clip it. Clip it. First ballot point God. God. Yeah, that's going on TikTok, right? And actually, yeah, so it wasn't DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker that made it work. It was Chris Paul. Chris Paul came in and made it. For real. And I know people hate Chris Paul, but he is truly what made the difference on that team. Anyways, I appreciate you all for tuning in again. We're kind of at the end of the show. I want to play video games. Oh my god, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm going to end the show. So I appreciate everybody. If you're new here, leave a like. If you're a really super fan and you really care about us, give us a subscription. I know all of you here probably already are subscribed, but I would appreciate that. And then we'll maybe be back for Friday or Saturday. Maybe Ashwin. I'm not 100% certain. I am certainly... Yeah, I know you hate Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul, the player, I think. But yeah, I'm glad we have Ant. Ant is the only thing keeping me in on this team. And I certainly would not have gotten the season tickets and tried to get tickets all the time if Ant weren't on the team. I would be done, you know. So... Anyways, I appreciate you all. I'm going to look for some free tickets here from Arby's, and there's none. So, anyways, I appreciate it. Ashwin will be here Friday, Saturday. We'll see about me. I work at 8 a.m., and the West Coast games are really difficult for me. But yeah, if there's no Ant, there's no us. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with the intro again because it's the only cool thing anymore other than Ant. So... Thank you for watching. Tune in next time on Built from Day One.